We are back live with Mr. Randy Pratt. Randy, you've been with lots of bands, lots of different bands, and I recently seen you playing harmonica with Cactus I don't know, probably a month ago, which was an amazing show. But there was another band that you had just mentioned.
My first harmonica band was, I pretty much formed it so I could have a harmonica band. I used the keyboard player from Star People, and we found this guy. It was called the New York City Blues Devils. It was basically old 1930s and 40s blues and jazz, originals and covers. The piano player is fantastic. He could play all styles beautifully. His name's Scott Tribitz. He's amazing. We call him the Doctor because he just fixes everything right up, you know. And it's different from Star People, as you can imagine, but he just could fall right into that look. And I outfitted the guys in old zoot suits and stuff like that. And we got this singer that we tried we were doing a variety show at a kind of a burlesque show at a bar down on 19th Street. And I knew this guy from cutting my hair. His name was Danny Biondo. And he had this rasp in his voice that it was amusing almost. He'd sing, and it was so over the top that it would just make you kind of chuckle, you know. But it was, in a way, it was soulful to me. But you know, he was very into the '80s glam rock thing, you know. And you know, that the guy in Rat or Motley Crue that had that, you know. And he really did it great. And I said, I bet he'd be good on. So we told him to sing Minnie the Moocher, I think. And he came on and just floored it. And he slammed it, man. He was great. And I said, and I looked at the keyboard player and I go, let's do this, man. This guy's great. And the amazing thing was, this guy knew nothing about the blues. He's the first rock musician I ever played with growing up when I did, you know, where the blues was the center of everything. This guy didn't know anything. He'd never heard any of it. And he just allowed me to like tutor him in this stuff. And we bought all the DVDs of like Cab Calloway, John Lee Hooker, you know, Louis Armstrong, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf. He really does a great Howlin' Wolf, you know. And we gave him dancing lessons and singing lessons, and he just came out great, man. He just became that era, you know. And I think it was almost a plus to him that he didn't have any history in it, because it wasn't like a museum thing to him. It was some new thing he just developed. Like it was the newest thing to him, you know.
Which is good.
Yeah, and so it had a real vibrancy, and it was kind of foul-mouthed and dirty, you know. Whereas it wasn't so reverential, you know.
Right.
And so it started off with just a three-piece, and we had the drummer play just an old-fashioned, like just a kind of a brushes, no bass drum, just a snare drum and a hi-hat.
Really.
And we played lots of gigs. We got lots of gigs because it was really easy and cheap. And we played like 4 times a week in all these little clubs in the city. And then we found a trumpet player, actually, an Asian girl trumpet player, a beautiful Asian girl, and she could play trombone too. So she had one in each hand, and you know, so that added to it. And we were playing at the Cutting Room one day, and there was a big popular burlesque show there called Life Scandal that played every Saturday, and the girl, we just happened to play in front of like 6 people before her, you know, and she was waiting to go on with her show, which was packed every weekend there, and she just liked the way we were dressed, so she said, "Oh, you'd be good on the show." And so but it was, you know, the old music was good for burlesque, you know, so we ended up playing every Saturday. There was a sold-out show there with her, and playing a lot of shows at BB King, and then we added a horn section that had the trombone player from, he played with Springsteen. I saw on the 25th anniversary of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there he is, like leading the horn section with Springsteen. He played with Prince. The trumpet player was Wynton Marsalis's replacement at the Met. And here I am, I'm playing the harmonica I learned from a video, you know, and I'm just like, and I'm trading solos with these guys. And I mean, in between solos, you see me on stage in these videos going, I can't believe I'm playing with you guys. I'm not good enough to do this. And they're just going like this. You're great. Go ahead and do it. So they were really, really helpful. I mean, I just learned to just kind of wing it, you know. And I listened to so much of that old music at my dad's house growing up that I found that even though I can't read music or anything,
Right.
that those solos were in my head. I mean, all
Right.
those solos just kind of like
Yeah.
like those solos sound corny and
Like
rock and
I
roll,
had
but
that
they have
with
kind of a like I don't know, like a
Like
kind
my
of a,
dad he loved the ink spots. I mean, I could
this was
still,
earlier than that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
like Count Basie, but even
Count-
earlier, and
yeah,
and then
Count
really I'm thinking like Louis Armstrong, you know, and,
Yeah.
and so that stuff came really natural to me, and I was shocked by how easy it was for me at first, you know. And so we played hundreds of gigs with that band, and then it just went its course. But in the course of that, I got into Cactus. And I reunited Cactus here in my studio. I paid them as studio musicians to come write Cactus songs because they didn't want to even talk to each other. It was really funny. And
that's happening now, right?
but they immediately fell in love with each other. And yeah, they did an album. We toured around a lot with that lineup, and now we're doing our second album with Cactus. So I'm a harmonica player now.
I saw it.
Hey, Mom, I can play the harmonica.
and very well too. It was
thank you.
it really added a nice dimension to that band too. It really did. That night was really a very cool night for me. It really was because, like I said, I was just, my expectations were not that high, and I think there was a lot of adrenaline in that night, and I think and you could see it. I mean, Carmine looked really happy, and for me to see,
I love to see make Carmine happy. He's my hero.
Yeah,
Carmine's one of these guys. He can walk into the studio with a group of people, no prep. I mean, the album we just did. He just did 6 albums in 3 days.
Right.
New songs in 3 days. Jimmy just come up with some riffs and stuff. Carmine it wasn't like he's not a hard ass pusher.
Right.
He just knows how to do it. You know, he finesses the
no
thing
doubt
together.
about
He
it.
arranges it. He's got, he used to produce Rod Stewart stuff. I mean,
know.
he's a producer, arranger. He's really a brilliant musician.
Absolutely.
And a motivator, and a guy older than me.
Yeah.
Who is like a kid. I mean, he's so into it. He'll fly across the country to get up on stage and play one gig with a guy.
And,
you know,
and his one solo wherever he's playing or whoever he's playing with would make most people drop dead. I mean,
you know
his solos are amazing.
One of my favorite memories of him is we were touring with the Fudge with Bill Pascali, that lineup in Europe, and the Lizards and him, and we were at some discotheque in Italy. And you know, to keep a tour going, sometimes you take gigs that are iffy. And you know, the Lizards were on there, and there was like just nobody in the audience, and they were there to dance. The people that were, and I came downstairs, and Carmine goes, you know, we're about to go on, and Carmine goes, everybody's kind of looking down, and he goes, "What are you looking down for? Come on, man, get up, let's go out there and get him. Come on." I'm going, and I said, "Carmine, you used to fly around the world in private jets, and you're the one psyching me up here to go on stage." I said, "You're my hero. I love you."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I love you too. All right, go ahead and just do it."
Let's do it.
But no ego with him. You know, he just wants to play. You know.
No, I mean, even with me, like when he had the drum, I forget what he called it.
Him and Vinny.
No, with the kids with the spackle buckets. You know, I had talked.
What's that called? Slam.
And Carmine invited me to, because my grandson wanted to play drums, and he said, "Well, bring him out." And he was so gracious to us and to my grandson after the show. It was really great, and so I had to go buy my grandson a set of drums after that. But he is quite a character and one of the greatest drummers ever. I mean,
I can't believe the Italian drummers that I have played with.
And his brother also.
I mean, I played with Vinny. I have a DVD of the Lizards with Vinny Appice. I'm in Cactus with Carmine. Bobby Rondinelli.
Yeah.
Sandy Gennaro played with the Lizards briefly. John Garner from Charlotte, Baltimore, who is underrated as a drummer. My God, that guy's up there with the greats. Still, he plays great.
I love your new drummer too.
And Neil is the last, and I was saving the best for last.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Saccone,
something.
man. Where do they come from, these guys?
He shocked me.
I think Neil's coming into his
time.
His time right now, I think.
Okay, we're gonna cut it now.